Las Vegas, Sin City, the gambling capital of the world. It has a certain reputation about it, but there's no denying that it draws a crowd. Last year, the city received over 40 million visitors. And while it's fun for a night or two, there is so much more to Southern Nevada than the Las Vegas Strip. On a recent trip, I spent a week road tripping around Southern Nevada and discovering stunning natural beauty, delicious food, forgotten ghost towns, and quite a few wild donkeys along the way. Today's video is going to show you why you should book those cheap flights to Las Vegas and then rent a car and drive to one or more of these incredible destinations. Only 45 minutes away from downtown Las Vegas, Mount Charleston feels a world away. Charleston Peak sits at a whopping 11,916 feet, which makes it both a great place to go hiking in the warmer months and a fun place to come skiing in the colder months. I headed here in May, and it was the coolest place in Southern Nevada during my week here, with temperatures in the low 70s. Perfect for hiking. I spent the night at the retreat at Mount Charleston, which was so relaxing. It was awesome to wake up and walk straight out of the hotel and onto the trails. You can come here as a day trip from Vegas or book into one of the campsites or lodges to spend a few nights hiking and relaxing. Take the whole scenic roadway loop to get back to Vegas and soak in the views from the viewing platform at 8,000 feet above sea level. If you want to get really off the beaten path during your trip to Nevada, the towns of Batty and Rhyolite should be on your list. I slept here after coming back from Death Valley, and the small bar on the main street served up the coldest beers I have ever tasted. The human population of Batty is just over 600, but the wild donkey population is over 800, so we saw a few hanging around. While in Batty, you have to go to the ghost town of Rhyolite. It's an outdoor museum both of art and history. Learn about the town that was once a booming gold mining town with a bank, a school, shops, and even a red light district. I learned my favorite fact of the whole trip in Rhyolite, and that was, if Nevada was a country, it would be the 4th largest producer of gold in the world. That's pretty incredible. A short 20-minute drive from Las Vegas, this is a must-see on any trip to Southern Nevada, both because it's so close and because it's so stunning. I've made a whole video about it on my channel already, so be sure to watch that if you want all the details on the best things to do along the Scenic Drive. There are ancient petroglyphs, incredible hiking trails, beautiful viewpoints, and lots of great picnic areas to enjoy lunch with a view of the canyon. Spend a night or two at Red Rock Casino and Resort for a little bit of luxury, to relax by the pool, to get away from the chaos of the Strip, while still having all of the amenities of the city, and to have a room with a view of the Red Rocks. Whenever I connect to public Wi-Fi, whether that's out while I'm traveling or just at a local cafe, I always make sure to connect to NordVPN, who are kindly the sponsor of today's video. A VPN, or a virtual private network, is a cybersecurity tool. When you connect to it, a VPN creates a tunnel that secures data traveling between you and the VPN server. The encryption scrambles data, so to anyone outside of this secure tunnel, the information looks like gibberish. So no one can see what you're getting up to online, even when you're connected to an insecure public network. NordVPN ensures you can browse safely and privately. Maybe that sounds too serious, like you don't have anything to hide. But have you ever gone on the Wi-Fi at a cafe or at the airport or in another public space and checked your banking or typed in a password to something that you don't want other people to have the password for? These are things that you want to protect, right? That is why I continue to use a VPN, and in particular NordVPN, who I have used reliably now for over 4 years. They are the fastest out there, they're easy to use, they're a great price, and they're from Lithuania, which is a pretty cool connection considering I lived there for 2 years, so. Now head to nordvpn.com/eternalexpat to get 4 extra months on top of any 2-year plan. Try it risk-free for 30 days, and if you don't love it as much as I do, then they will give you your money back. Now let's get back to exploring Nevada. Perhaps the most surprising place on this list is Meadows. I had never even heard of this place before coming to Nevada, but one of the park rangers told me about it from Death Valley and said it was well worth stopping at. He was right. It was honestly a highlight of my entire trip. This desert oasis is a national wildlife refuge of international importance, thanks in particular to the fascinating little pupfish. Over 10,000 years ago, this was a wetlands with way more water here than there is now. But as time passed, the springs got smaller and the salt levels increased, making this water more than double the salinity of the ocean. It takes a pretty special animal to be able to live in such salty and often very hot waters, reaching temperatures over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The pupfish has evolved to be able to do just that. It helps that it's also really small and cute and blue. I mean bright blue. So they are very cool to see up close. This might be one of the most famously visited places near Las Vegas. It's about a 45-minute drive from the Vegas Strip and not too far from the airport, so I added it onto the end of my trip before I had to drop off the rental car back at the airport. Right on the border between Nevada and Arizona, it was built between 1931 and 1936. You can take a guided tour to learn more about it, or you can view it from a few different viewpoints, including the bridge above the Colorado River, but boy, was it windy up there. It's $10 to park on the Nevada side of the dam and free to park on the Arizona side. Either way, you can then walk across the top of the dam, taking in the views from both sides. Valley of Fire State Park is about a 45-minute drive northeast of Las Vegas and another easy day trip to take if you want to explore the incredible rock formations in this region of Nevada. Renowned for its 40,000 acres of this bright red Aztec sandstone, you won't want to visit here between May and September when the trails are closed to hikers because of the heat. But if you're here from October to April, do not miss these incredible trails. Last but certainly not least is Death Valley. A short 2-hour drive from Las Vegas, this is one of the best additions to a road trip from Sin City. I spent the night in Pahrump, about halfway between Las Vegas and the national park entrance, and then got an early-ish start to explore the park in a day. If visiting in the cooler months, definitely plan to spend a few days here hiking and exploring, but if you don't like hiking or you're visiting between April and November, a day is more than enough time to see a bunch of different incredible landscapes and to end up at the other end of the park near Batty. This region of the country has so much to offer. If you have more time, you can head to the Grand Canyon in Arizona and go hiking in that region. You can drive further north into Nevada and visit the Great Basin National Park, Black Rock Desert, or south to Lake Havasu. There are truly endless options to get out into Mother Nature in this part of the country, and I absolutely love it. I hope you enjoyed getting to know more about these destinations outside of Las Vegas, and I hope I've convinced you to leave the Strip behind to explore some of them on your next trip to Nevada. Now tell me, what are some of your favorite spots around this region of the country to explore? My list keeps growing. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.